Thank you very much, man. I mean, we're going to miss you. I was glad that you didn't use the word winning as your key, so I'm happy for that. But truly, I've been lucky too for the last 21 years being associated with the University of Oklahoma. And the creation of SOBA, even though it was an idea, actually the leadership was shown by Daniel, decided let's go for it. And you're right, Jeff brought the structure to it. Without Jeff, SOBA doesn't exist, and it's easy for me to get a name for it, but it's all what Jeff did. And more than that, all what the students did. I mean, it's an amazing set of students. And all the credit for I-CCEW and everything you owe them to the students at the University of Oklahoma. So I'm very excited to be part of that, and I really hope that this good word spreads and we'll get more good students joining our program, competing for those internship slots for SOBA and all the projects of I-CCEW. So it's all our responsibility to spread the good word about I-CCEW, SOBA, and everything throughout the campus, okay? And without any further ado, I would like to invite these students who have done a wonderful job with them brag about what they have done, okay? All right.
To start a successful software company, you need an idea, a laptop, and a team of talented, passionate individuals to market and develop your technology. That is the spirit of the Software Business Accelerator program at I-CCEW, and we are the team of inventors who've been tackling this project this semester. Our product is Studyo, a website and iPhone application study tool that will revolutionize the way students prepare and collaborate for their classes. My name is Renee Sealanders, and I am the marketing strategist for Studyo. I'm a journalism senior from Edmond, Oklahoma.
My name is Kelsey Johnson. I'm the business analyst for Studyo. I'm a computer engineering junior, also from Edmond, Oklahoma.
My name is Yenny Harris. I'm the interface designer for Studyo. I'm a computer science senior from Nigeria.
My name is David Rice, and I'm the iOS engineer for Studyo. I'm a computer science sophomore from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
My name is Alan Smith. I'm the web engineer for Studyo, and I'm a computer science junior from Austin, Texas.
Our team leaders are Mimi Wynn and Kelly Tran, and our project mentors are Dr. Sridhar Radhakrishnan, Director of the Computer Science Department, and Mike Wolfenbarger, CEO of Base Velocity. To give you the full scope of the problem that Studyo will correct, here's Kelsey.
Thank you, Renee. According to the U.S. Department of Education, of over 2 million freshmen entering college each year, 43% never make it to graduation. That's almost half. So why is this? Well, many studies have been conducted to determine the reason for this trend, and one of the main reasons identified is that students come to college academically unprepared. It's not that they don't know enough, it's that they haven't learned how to study effectively and efficiently. Students also have difficulty staying engaged with their studies. Let's face it, studying can be boring, and many students end up neglecting their studies when they come to college in favor of social pursuits. Students also have difficulty connecting with other students. When faced with a 200-person class, a student new to college may not feel comfortable reaching out to their classmates. Studies have shown that learning is a social behavior, and being able to come together enhances the learning experience. So missing out on making those connections can really affect a student's ability to succeed in their classes. But instead of walking up to a new classmate and introducing themselves, many students choose to retreat back to their room or go to the library alone. And while this may work for some, others end up feeling overwhelmed and isolated. In the fast-paced academic world of college, it's important to be able to connect with other students and find study partners to collaborate with. All students face these issues, whether they're ultimately part of the 43% that drop out or not. But it shouldn't be this hard, and we're going to make it easier. To address this problem, we've developed Studyo. So what is it? Studyo is an interactive social learning platform consisting of an iPhone application and a website, a place for students to come together for the purpose of finding study partners and sharing study material with other students who are undergoing the same experience and sharing the same difficulties. Studyo will enable students to study more effectively and efficiently by allowing them to take their study material with them wherever they go. One of the difficulties of learning is trying to retain information, and this is demonstrated by the forgetting curve. When you first learn something, you forget it very quickly, exponentially in fact. However, if that material is repeated at intervals over time, then that slope, the rate at which you forget, levels off until the information is truly how Studyo will aid in the learning process by allowing students to check their memory wherever they are, walking to class, on the bus, even out partying with friends. To enhance this effect, another feature we're bringing to the table with our product is schedule-based or alarm-based questioning. Simply put, you'll be able to set Studyo to send you notifications at intervals, to quiz yourself over time and aid in your memorization. This feature will take advantage of the trends suggested by the forgetting curve to help students retain the information that they're studying. Studyo will also keep students more engrossed in their studies. It's a stretch to say that we can make studying fun, but we will make it more engaging and interactive. To do this, Studyo will have game modes. For questions uploaded through the website in multiple choice format, you'll be able to go through your sets of questions in the form of timer-based games. So you can race the clock while gaining points, advancing the level, and comparing your scores to your friends. Blitz mode, seen here, will challenge you to answer questions as quickly as you can, while endurance mode will see how long you can last answering questions. A Zen mode will allow you to go through your questions at your own pace. These game modes will add something interesting to the ordinarily mundane task of studying that will bring students to our product and keep them coming back. Studyo will also connect students through social networking. A good tool for making these connections simply doesn't exist. Even on Facebook, the great connector of people, there are certain lines that aren't crossed, certain social barriers. You can't just go to your class roster and start sending friend requests, hoping that someone will want to study with you, because people are reluctant to confirm someone they've never met. Studyo will eliminate the social barriers to finding study partners by creating a social network with a primary focus on education. Students will come to our application with studying in mind, so they will be more open and willing to interact with other students for the sake of collaborating to do better in their classes. Users of Studyo will be able to find other students in their classes using the search function, add people they meet on the app as study buddies, form study groups, and share user-generated content within their study groups. So now, in that 200-person class, there's not such a distance between a new student and potential study partners. 26% of college students have either an iPhone or an iPod Touch, meaning that of those 200 students, there are up to 52 individuals a student could be connecting to instantly through our iPhone application. This is how Studyo will change the way students study. With all of these features on our website and our iPhone application, Studyo will greatly improve the way students study and bring students together to make reaching graduation that much easier. We will show you how we plan to make a successful business out of this innovative product by looking at our strategic marketing plan and revenue model, and show you our current development progress. But first, here's Yemi to show you how we surpass the competition with this feature set.
Thank you. So, as Kelsey mentioned, effective study methods are a real problem. There are many companies out there trying to solve these problems, but they are unable to meet all the needs of students. With that said, we've identified our three main competitors to be Quizlet, Koofers, and Studyo. We compared these competitors with Studyo based on 4 key metrics that students in our research and focus groups have identified to be key when studying. Like Studyo, they all provide a website where students can use, but only Quizlet and Studyo have taken it a step further to create an iPhone application. The one common feature between all these competitors in Studyo is that they all like to create content and share this content with other users. However, they all lack the right combination of features that capture the essence of meaningful social interaction coupled with learning. With that said, Studyo attempted to take on this feat by providing a way for classmates to find other classmates and share content with them. But they don't give you a way to interact with multiple students at the same time to benefit from the outcomes of collaboration. Quizlet, on the other hand, provides study game modes that test users' mastery of concepts. However, our take on this aspect is unique in that Studyo brings to the table a mixture of Studyo brings to the table a platform where users can master concepts but at the same time have fun doing it. In addition to that, our game moves on the iPhone. Quizlet limits these features to their website. Another key feature that Studyo will be capitalizing on is schedule-based questions, as Kelsey mentioned. With Studyo, users will be able to set questions to show up periodically throughout the day to help them retain information longer. However, more development time is needed in order to complete Studyo and acquire users. So now that I've shown you that there are several players in this emerging space, let's take a good look at the attractive market that Studyo will be entering. In determining our market, we looked at the mobile learning market, everyone for sure. And this market consists of all products developed as portable devices for the purposes of education and study. This market is currently worth $884 million. It is growing at a compound annual growth rate of 18.3%. In 2015, this market will be worth $1.65 billion. But to make sense of this rapid growth, we took a close look at the number of college students in the United States. Of about 20 million students, 18% have an iPhone. That's 3.6 million students. In addition to that, 1.7 million students have an iPhone Touch. Now, our initial target market are at least 5.3 million students because they are natural adopters of new and exciting technology. However, our numbers are not limited to this because most students in 2011 have access to a computer, so we can proceed in tracking all 20 million users. So now that I've shown you our main competitors and the attractive market that Studyo will be entering, here's Renee to show you how we acquire users and earn money along the way.
Thank you, Yemi. We've devised a three-step expansion plan that will gain Studyo the prominence and popularity it needs in its initial launch to gain a loyal base of users. We'll start at the University of Oklahoma campus, specifically Camp Crimson, a 3-day freshman orientation camp that exposes students to new university life. By integrating Studyo into the programming of this camp, we'll show users how to use the app, as well as how it will benefit their studies. When the school year begins, we'll branch out and focus on upperclassmen. We'll capitalize on launching at a time when all students, not just freshmen, are looking for ways to improve their studying habits. OU presents us with a total student population of about 30,600 students. Of that total population, about 26% have iPhones or iPod Touches, a potential user base of about 8,000 students. Based on a case study of one of our competitors, Studyo, who gained about 12.5% of their initial base at the UW-Madison campus, we estimate that we'll capture 15% of this market, since Studyo better meets the needs of students. That's a target of about 1,200 students. To reach that target market, we'll integrate Studyo into OU websites and apps, giving it a presence on websites like Ozone and OU for You. We'll also get a good initial base of users at Camp Crimson. Furthermore, we'll expand out to the graduate programs at the OU Health Sciences Center. Specifically, we'll appeal to the modules, or mods, groups of first-year medical students who are put together and given a workspace and common area to study in. These students become a tight-knit studying family, and by showing them how Studyo can keep them connected even when they aren't in the same space, we'll gain a presence at the graduate student level. And finally, we'll create a YouTube demo so that when the word gets out about Studyo, people can log online and see exactly how Studyo will help improve their studying habits. Once we've streamlined this process, we'll expand regionally. We've identified the 10 largest state universities in Oklahoma and the surrounding states, which presents us with a potential user base of about 70,000 students. We estimate we'll capture about 10% of this market initially, or about 7,000 students. To appeal to this target market, we'll recruit Studyo campus representatives, student interns completing the internship for academic credit, who will help us identify the best marketing strategies and events to get Studyo well known on campus. Additionally, we'll distribute promotional packets and schedule meetings one-on-one with student life coordinators at other universities to share the success of Studyo at OU and show them how they can implement our app into their campus. And finally, we'll expand nationally. As Yemi mentioned earlier, this presents us with a potential target of about 5.3 million users. We estimate we'll capture about 5% of this market, or approximately 260,000 students. To appeal to these students at these other universities, we'll really emphasize our YouTube demo to show them how to use the app, as well as develop a marketing website. We'll also schedule campus visits with specific universities to meet one-on-one with student life coordinators, just as we did at the regional level, to share with them the success of Studyo and show them how they can also implement Studyo at their campus. So now that we've shown you how we plan to expand, let's take a look at how we'll turn this large user base into revenue for Studyo. We'll first generate revenue with app advertisements. We'll use advertising platforms, specifically iAds and AdMob, to bring ads into our app. Studyo will not have the responsibility of appealing to advertisers to bring advertisements into the app. The ad platforms will do that for us. We'll be supplied with two kinds of ads: cost per acquisition advertisements and cost per click advertisements. Cost per acquisition ads mean that the advertiser will only pay for that advertisement if a desired response is yielded. That response could be anything from a form submission to a purchase made on the advertiser's website. Cost per click advertising means that the advertiser will pay whenever the ad is clicked on. This is how we'll generate revenue from advertising. Additionally, we'll have an in-app purchase that allows users to remove those ads in the event that they don't want to see them whenever they're using the app. 30% of the revenue from that will go to Apple and 17% will come to Studyo. Because initially, the majority of our advertising revenue, or of our revenue will come from advertising, this is how we structured our financial base. So now that you've seen how we'll expand our user base and also our strategy for generating revenue, let's take a look at Studyo's financial growth over the next 5 years. With an initial investment of only $25,000 for marketing, development, and server costs, Studyo will be worth over $120,000 in the first 5 years. That's a 5 times return on investment for investors. We'll also amass over 300,000 users in that time frame. We've assumed that we'll earn about 60 cents per user annually from advertising revenue, as well as a 40% discount rate and a 10% growth rate in users after year 3, at which point Studyo will break even. This is a conservative estimation based on the 18% growth rate in the in-learning market, which Hanny mentioned earlier. So now that you've seen how Studyo will meet each of these growth projections by gaining a large base of users, I'd like to turn it over to David, who will share with you our development progress to show you how we're well positioned to meet the July 14th Camp Crimson launch date.
Thank you. Studyo is already well into development, and we've broken the project into 3 main sections. First is the web front, the backend server, and the iPhone application. For our initial version of Studyo, or version 1.0, we'll have the main features that have been described earlier in the presentation. These are things like the different study modes and the ability to connect other students with a social network. As of today, we've already completed several of these features. And so in order to take us further on in the next few months, Alan will explain what Studyo will be up to.
Thank you, David. The next steps that Studyo takes are crucial to its success. Development will continue until mid to late June. During this time, we'll complete the website, the iPhone application itself, and the backend server that will hold all of our content. At the same time, we'll begin executing our marketing strategy. This will involve things like contacting OU Student Life and the executives of Camp Crimson, as well as creating flyers, t-shirts, and other such promotional materials in order to advertise Studyo. Finally, we will begin identifying outside sources of funding. 2 such potential sources of funding are the Innovative Ideas Competition as part of the EDGE grant and the OU Growth Fund. With all these work streams completed, we will be in excellent position for Studyo 1.0 launch in mid-July, coinciding with the start of Camp Crimson. To review, tonight you've seen that college students face a serious problem in leaving the market ripe for a new studying tool. That tool is Studyo, an interactive social studying platform that will surpass our competition, allowing us to attain a portion of the $884 million mobile learning market. With our incremental growth strategy, we will be able to rapidly expand nationwide with a launch as early as mid-July of this year. Thank you for listening to our presentation about Studyo. For an exciting chance to see Studyo in action for the first time ever, please visit the Studyo station in the lobby after presentations. With that, we'd like to open the floor for any questions.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't it seem to work better when you give out free versions of this stuff to start with and get the students talking about that?
Well, the initial release of the application is free, but we have advertisements in there so that we can generate revenue even though the application is free itself. So it will be free initially. Yeah, they have to pay the 99 cents to get rid of the app. So.
And that's optional.
And that's optional, so it will be free. Yes, sir.
The success of this would seem to hinge on its ability to do what it is you say it will do. Have you developed a methodology for how you're going to demonstrate that you improve the students' learning skills, ability, success in their college events?
That can all be seen in the game modes. Because you'll be able to compare your scores with other students who are using those game modes, you'll be able to gauge your progress.
Is that a methodology that allows you to then say we've done a study and that our students are now, our app users are now somehow better than they would have been had it not been for the app?
That's certainly a good suggestion, and that's definitely something that we're going to consider after we've gathered a larger user base.
Yes, sir.
I like this because it makes me want to go outside and try it out. But my question relates to what can I study on this platform? Is it something I can study for Dr. Holmes' economic class, or do you guys have that idea? And then who uploads the content?
Users do. And the questions are, for version 1.0 of the app, are going to be in a multiple choice format. So most classes that we were initially geared towards were freshman classes like Chemistry 101 that require multiple choice questions. But for version 2, we're thinking of incorporating other ways of incorporating questions into the app. So like taking pictures and other ways to broaden the scope of Studyo. But initially, we're sticking with multiple choice question format.
Like test files or just?
Yes, and then we have on the website, users will be able to upload content. So that's how we're handling that.
The main form of content generation is from users. And so to bring students together, it'll be that whole collaboration mode. Students will come with questions that they've developed, upload those, and that will be available for everyone in their class or study groups to use.
Yes, sir.
It seems that your marketing strategy is based upon launching onto Camp Crimson. However, in your next step slides, you said that you needed to speak to the people in student life. Have you contacted Zach Stevens, who's in charge of Camp Crimson, or anyone in this effort for student
We're
life?
beginning those communications this week.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My favorite app is from the National Weather Center, radar stuff. I'm a weather guy and I absolutely love it. It's better and better. And my question is around upgrades. You know, every time you download a new app, it seems to take huge advances forward. So do you have plans in place for upgrading this as well?
Yes, we do. In the initial version, we'll have the features that I've described, but we've also have in the works different things, or different ways to create a more premium version, where you'll be able to, as mentioned, either have take pictures and use those in questions, or have video and